How do I lead the nation? With this gun in my hand.
Interminable hero by virtue of the fact that he carries a gun, Falk Zildjian strides along the river wharf on the edge of Parabellum City. With stevedores and sailors bustling along the pier around him, Zildjian keeps his eyes on the sky.
What you looking for, Falk?
I heard reports of some mysterious flying objects coming in over the water. Say, we've met before, haven't we?
Yes, we have. We've even fought side by side.
Really? I'm sorry, I'm not great with names or faces. Your name is... Bob.
No.
Mithridapolis?
No.
Colonel Rakeism.
I should be so lucky. No.
Wait, it's coming to me. It's an affectionate nickname that highlights your mental illness. Your maniac. Goofball? No, it's something like bent rod.
Crank. Call me Crank.
Crank! I remember now. You're the leader of G.I. Jake, the real American paramilitary organization.
That's the one. Only we've been through some changes. I'm sure you don't want to hear me blather on about our new name and mission for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I should really mosey.
Singing our updated theme song will convey it to you much more quickly.
Oh, you don't have to.
Hey, Jake! He fought for freedom wherever he was ordered. G.I. Jake was there. G.I. Jake! Uniquely, heroically American. G.I. Jake was there. It was G.I. Jake against Cobra the enemy. Not a team of international terrorists, but a medical insurance law. The Consolidated Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act. I forget which year it came out, but there's a group of bad guys who have strong feelings about it, and they're our enemies. They're your enemies too.
G.I. Jake! Uniquely heroically American. G.I. Jake was there.
He never gave up. He was always there, fighting for freedom because he cares. G.I. Jake was the code name for America's daring, off-the-books, deep state special force mission battle group unit tool. Its purpose? To defend the freedom of all Americans who deserve it against Cobra, a ruthless organization bent on world domination.
How are they using a medical insurance law to take over the world?
Just trust me, they are. Where was I? He never gave up. He stayed till the fight was won. G.I. Jake had flair. And now our team can launch the next step in our plan for American freedom, which is... Warlords! Real American leaders! Warlords are more efficient than democratically elected representatives. Do you really want the hands of your nation's protectors tied with red tape when there's a looming threat? Of course you don't. And threats are always looming. Why do you think we supported dollar-friendly dictators around the world for all these years, if we weren't planning to have that form of government ourselves? Might makes right. It's the American way. Why deny it? What we need is maximum freedom for rugged individuals. An end to collectivism. Strong people will no longer be held back by weak, worthless nobodies. Even if you're not a warlord yourself, you can see which way the wind is blowing and ally yourself with the powerful, so they'll throw you scraps and hopefully won't trample you under their feet. Warlords! Real American leaders! Warlords who are benevolent! Warlords!
Wow, that's, yeah.
Isn't it just?
How did you sing that by yourself but have two different voices in some parts?
It's a technique derived from Tuvan throat singing. I had to practice for years to get it right. It was worth it, though.
Yeah. So you're not going after Cobra anymore?
They're all washed up. Now we have time to focus on what really matters.
Fighting crime?
Lowering taxes.
Well, we might not see eye to eye on politics, but at least this means you won't spend the entire episode listing code names of your team members.
That's right. We don't need to hide behind assigned names anymore. Now we're free to use nicknames we've chosen for ourselves.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Here come the surviving members of the team. I'd like to introduce Blood Curdle, Blood Spill, Mop That's Soaked with Blood, Blood Doily, Bloodbath, Bloodbath UK, Bloodbath South America, Bloodbath Greenland. Here's our mess sergeant, Mass Gravy.
How you doing?
This next man is a psychic mind controller who used to be in organized crime, Ganglion. Not to be confused with Gangly Ian over here, the tall, slender gunner from England. His specialty is whining through the whole story about how hopeless our mission is, and then the team gets trapped in a cave-in, let's say, and the only way out is a narrow space between boulders which only he can fit through. Gangly Ian wiggles through the confined space and saves the day. Then to really pump up the pathos, he gets shot by the enemy.
Oi, what's this? Crank, I don't need to hear the name of every...
Come on, you turkeys. Line up so you can shake Zildjian's hand. These next 5 guys are the rest of the staff working in the mess tent. Meet Atrocity.
Hello.
French Foreign Legion.
Bonjour.
Gastrointestinal Distressor. ketchup and mustard.
I'm ketchup, he's mustard. This ain't actually ketchup all over my hands, but they ran out of names related to blood. Plus the private here uses that tank to spray mustard gas, and he needed a partner, so we thought...
And here we have Death Tomb,
Hey.
Death Ball,
Hi.
Death Tear,
Hello.
Death Tear,
Hi there.
Death Tire,
What are we doing?
Breach of Professional Ethics,
Hi.
Dirtbag, Dirt Ball, Dodgeball, Dirge Ball, 11 dirty criminals on a suicide mission looking for a 12th,
Please stop.
and who could forget returning favorites like the duo Guns and Butter, or Strategic Hamlet, Pound of Flesh, Mary Mary Quite Contrary.
Tonight's show is sponsored by WMC. Would you like to try therapy, but you don't want people to think you're crazy? Rather not have your head shrunk? Or would getting help require you to admit to yourself that you might be crazy, so you'd rather suffer in silence? There's a better way to get help, and it doesn't require spilling your guts to a stranger. At WMC, we'll guide you to the one counselor you know and trust. Right now, you might be reluctant to ask her a question that's troubling you, or tell her what's really on your mind. Just contact the professionals at WMC by phone or mail or telegram. You can even dictate your concerns into a wire recorder and send us the spool of wire. We'll listen carefully and thoughtfully. Then we'll encourage you to contact your mother by whichever mode of communication you prefer. Because the person to ease your mind and dole out perfect advice is your own mother. Contact us at Wire Mother Counseling today. You already know what we're going to tell you. Just wire your mother. Not all mothers are capable of easing troubled minds or providing perfect advice. Your mother made trouble even the easiest mind or provide imperfect advice. If you never had a mother or if she has passed, we apologize for bringing up this painful subject. My mother rewrote this ad copy and assured me it would be good, which was obviously not perfect advice, so there you go. Advice from your father is no substitute for advice from your mother. Dads in 1939 can't open up. Offer not valid in Ohio.
Keep it coming, guys. This is Whiskey Pete, Gun Guts, Cantankerous, Truculent, Corporal Vorpal.
All I wanted to ask was whether you've seen those mysterious objects that were spotted flying over Santopolis. Have you heard any scuttlebutt about that? If not, I need to move on and keep investigating.
Sure, those are robot-piloted autogyros.
Really?
We thought they were operating some advanced radio technology to steer them remotely, but it turned out to be robots.
Who's behind it?
Iran. There's an Iranian mothership parked somewhere east of Santopolis.
No.
Yeah,
I thought it was called Persia.
it was, but the Shah asked people to start calling it Iran back in '35. If you want to stay on his good side and get security consulting work, you gotta break the habit of calling it Persia. Anyway, he's a good guy, keeping neutral in the war so far, but he's a strong man.
A mothership, though, really.
Well, a small aircraft carrier. Mothership just sounds better.
All these changes in your team name and mission, are they really because you defeated Cobra, or because you need to release Series 4 of your action figures and merchandise?
It was time. Our team's getting older. Kids these days have never heard of us. They couldn't tell you what percentage of the battle is knowing.
That's easy, 50%, because knowing is half the battle, right?
No, it was a trick question. Guns are half the battle. The other half is good guys to fire them.
Right. Excuse me, Mr. Crank, can I have a minute of your time?
Of course. What can I do for you, son? Thinking of signing up with the Warlords, formerly known as G.I. Jake?
That would be an honor, but no. My name's the Cherry Pachyderm. Maybe you've heard my program on shortwave? The Info Tree Radio Hour.
Of course. Very popular with the guys in the barracks.
Oh, wow. Thanks. Well, I know your team has a lot on your plate, right? Fighting international terrorism, pushing back against government interference in the altruistic health insurance industry, and now I hear you changed your name to the Warlords and whatnot.
Sure. If you want to understand our new mission, I can sing our theme song again.
No, that's okay. I heard it a minute ago.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I was wondering where your organization comes down on the chili problem. Oh boy, here we go.
If you can't afford to heat your apartment, you should take it up with your landlord. Or maybe you could ask for donations from your church.
No, I'm not feeling chili. I'm talking about the mythical food item known as chili. The alleged beef stew with spices in it.
Yes, the chili problem. I've certainly faced that. Even though we get some pretty good victuals from Mass Gravy. How do you solve the problem? Do you garnish with cheese or sour cream or diced onions? How do you feel about cilantro?
Well, that's sort of tangential, but I'm neutral on the cilantro question.
Fair enough.
What I mean by the chili problem is there is no such thing as chili. And let me tell you, if you want to convince someone that chili does not exist, what's going on?
Cease fire! Who is that? It is me, Bloodbath South America. Oh, well, exercise some trigger discipline, BB. Are you just going to listen to him talk like that, Colonel Clank? Falk means well. He just spends too much time with that Castro fella. Not him. This so-called Cherry Pachyderm. The lies and propaganda spilling out of his mouth.
What did I say?
You stand there with bald face and deny the existence of Chile? I don't know who you are, mister, and I don't know who pays you to push this anti-Chilean rhetoric. Probably one of our cozy neighbors who wish to take over our homeland, like Peru or Bolivia, possibly Brazil.
What are you talking about?
As if you did not know.
Hey, what was that for?
You may claim that the land does not belong to the people of Chile, or that some rival nation has claim to it. But no one can deny the verdant coastline, the beauty of the Andes Mountains, the rich cultural heritage.
Okay, now wait a minute. I see what the confusion is here.
There is no confusion about the unique foodways of my country. The churrasco, empanadas, sopapillas.
No, I wasn't talking about the country of Chile.
You weren't?
No.
Because I'm aware that norteños pronounce it Chile instead of Chile.
No, I didn't mean you guys at all. I never met any Chileans. You're probably fine. I met some Peruvians before.
So it was Peruvians who paid you to make these slanderous...
No, it's not about the country. I'm saying the food. The seasoned beef stew that foolish people label chili.
Oh, what about it?
It doesn't exist.
It does not exist.
No.
This claim does not enrage me, as would slander of my homeland. And yet...
Hey! Uniquely Heroic Americans, episode 121 of This Gun in My Hand, was seasoned and lorded over by Rob Northrup. This episode and all others are available on YouTube with automatically generated closed captions of dialogue. Visit thisguninmyhand.blogspot.com for credits, show notes, archives, and to buy my books, such as Sisyphus Eat Your Heart Out, available in paperback and ebook from Amazon. What makes my chili taste uniquely American? This gun in my hand!